Hey y'all, so today's client, she does suffer from alopecia and she is getting my signature small Burmese Bohemian Knotless. As you can see, most of her hair loss is around her perimeter, so of course I'm starting where the hair starts. As I go up, I'm adding more and more curly hair because the curly hair basically camouflages, those areas where she likes hair. Now I'm at almost at her crown. I'm going to three braid. Y'all, the number three is the best thing for me, okay? So I'm going to braid down her hair 3 times and then start adding my knotless braiding here. As you can see, I'm taking the rest of my fingers when I'm adding the hair in to hold the braid in place so that it does not loosen up. Keeps your grip, okay? Braid tip of the day. Keeps the grip of your braid. That way the braid doesn't loosen up and you can keep your control with you braiding. Now let's talk about alopecia. Alopecia is defined as the partial or complete absence of hair from areas of the body where it normally grows, aka baldness. What are the main causes of alopecia? Well, we have high fever and severe infection, childbirth, major surgery, major illness, sudden blood loss, severe emotional distress, crash diets, especially those that do not contain enough protein. Now, as we all know, alopecia can happen and occur at any given moment at any given time. And my platform is to educate both service provider and client. That way, clients that do have alopecia, they know exactly how to either educate the braider, and the braider knows how to educate the client whenever he or she is in their chair.
Seems like ever since the first day we met, there is no one else I think of more than you. Can't seem to forget, can't get you out my head. Guess the verdict's in, I'm crazy over you.
Now, right here, I am showing you the amount of hair that I use. Again, my 1, 2, 3 method, I only use 3 pieces of hair for my braids. The amount of hair that you use determines the thickness of the actual braid. With knotless braids, you want them to be as natural as possible. So you want to start off with a smaller piece in the beginning and then just add a little bit at a time. That way the actual braid flows. Here I'm adding in the hair at the root. If you watched my previous videos, you know about this technique. For those who suffer from thinning and want a more fuller look, adding it at the root camouflages and adds more volume with the curly hair. It just gives it more fullness. So even if you don't have thin hair, this technique is great because it just gives you more fullness with the curls coming out at the root.
How can one be down? Tell me where to start. 'Cause every time you smile, I feel tremors in my heart. I have a one concern. I cannot get with you till my day comes. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Check it.
Yeah, nothing but you, nothing but you. Thinking about you. I must confess, I'm a mess for you.
Now we're going to start in the front. I'm going to part it down the middle first. I always part down the middle first so that I have equal symmetry and equal amount of braids on each side. So you want to make sure that you part down the middle first. That way you have both sides. And of course the technique is take the comb on the bridge of the nose and roll it up to get the perfect middle part. I part it first with the comb and then I add a little bit of product to clean it up nice and neat. So now we're going to start in the front, and this is a technique that I use on all my clients. I'm taking the parts that I've already made in the back and just connecting them in the front. This is how you get equal parting, you get that symmetry. See, so smooth and so easy, so clean. I do this with every single client. However many rows I have in the back of the head is how many rows I put in the front, and I just follow those parts along the perimeter of the front of the head, and my services always come out perfectly fine.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Got the blazing joint.
Now, as you can see here, I do not have any hair coming out of the root. In the nape of the neck and by the ears, I don't put any hair out. Why? Because those are the three main areas that people do what? You lay on. So you don't want the hair to get even more matted than it would be. Like literally 2 days and the hair would be so tangled. And let's be clear, nobody sees those braids in those areas. Like, let's be real. So don't put any of the curly hair in the first row on this side. You also have to be very, very careful when it comes to the areas of where the client's hair is thinning. You want to use less braiding hair. Why? This is key because synthetic hair is heavier than natural hair. When that braid starts to grow out and she has that new growth, if you use too much braiding hair, it's going to pull, it's going to weigh it down. And we don't want that. So make sure when you are braiding on areas where there is less real hair, you use less braiding hair. And through this process, you explain that to the clients. You educate them on exactly what you're doing and the purpose of why you're doing it. So that way, if they see, oh, this braider is smaller than the other braids, well, this braid is going to be smaller because you have thinner hair in this particular area. And we're going to save the integrity of the hair, right? Because that's what we are known for and that's our purpose, okay? So when it comes to the thinner areas, you use less braiding hair.
Baby, it's the butter. It's all sugary, the flavor don't cease. When I'm in the cut, boy, I pull a silk out the crease. 10 fingers swinging the tension, get released. Tell your girlfriend chill, I ain't no dog on a leash. I keep it true, so who gon' get who sprung? Cause waiting to exhale, collapse.
Now I'm going to push out any hair that I feel that is too thin or too fragile. Remember, we are all about the integrity of the hair. I get it. Some of y'all braiders want to pull every single strand, but I promise you, in most cases, it's not necessary and it's not needed, okay? You don't want to pull their hair out even more. So, on the areas that are very thin and fragile, don't braid it. And if you do braid it, be very light-handed. But me personally, I don't braid it, okay? Now, she wants hers extremely full, so I'm going to add even more hair in the front because she wants that full look in the front, okay?
As long as I make it hard for your ex, feels the full effects. I treat my honey good and that's what he don't expect. Who's next? Not me, I'm dedicated. I never send my girl outside frustrated, that's a jewel. Divas can't break down the code. I wrote my own book, I call it waiting to explode. Sitting up in my soul, up in my blood, thinking about you, yes, I'm the best, the best for.
Now, a different technique that I did on this client, I didn't add the curly hair on the ends. I used curling rods. This method is so much quicker, y'all. Like, oh my God, it took like 2 hours off of the service time. So, I would recommend this because, whew, made my time go by so much faster. So, we're just going to dip those. Now, when it comes to baby hairs, I am not the roller coaster baby hair queen, okay? I do what's natural as possible because you have to understand the clients have to maintain it on their own while they have these styles in. Unless you are a braider that offers a service of baby hair maintenance. Ding ding, just dropped a gem. So, yeah, I don't do all that. And my clients, they don't care for all that. Some do ask, and again with clients like today's client, uh she did ask for something just a little bit extra just to camouflage, her bald spots. So yeah, I try to do something, honey.
right.
Sitting up in my think about you. Oh yeah.
Now I'm going to hydrate her scalp with my hair growth serum, which you can purchase online with the link down below. Make sure you guys are hydrating your client's scalp and rub it in with the tip of your fingers, okay? You gotta get it in there, keep it moisturized, keep it oiled up, keep it feeling nice, keep the scalp refreshing, y'all. So oil your client's scalp, okay?
Got to make it hot.
Got to make it hot.
And here is the final results. My client loved her hair. She was so obsessed, so full, so lightweight, not heavy at all. And if you are in the Dallas area, I'm located in Houston, Texas.